Hello students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all will be fine. Let's start chapter number 7, Metabolism part 6. Let's learn about the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, algae, and certain bacteria convert light energy, typically from the sun, into the chemical energy stored in the glucose. This process is crucial for life on Earth because it produces oxygen as a byproduct, which is essential for most living organisms and forms the base of the food chain. The general equation for the photosynthesis is as follows. Carbon dioxide plus water plus light energy gives us glucose, oxygen, and water molecules. Photosynthesis consists of two major stages, the light-dependent reaction, which is dependent on sunlight, and the light-independent reaction, which doesn't depend on the sunlight and is also called as Calvin cycle. Light-dependent reactions mostly take place in thylakoid membranes of the chloroplast, which convert light energy into the chemical energy, that is ATP and NADPH. Let's have a look on mechanism of light-dependent reaction. Chlorophyll A of photosystem 2 absorbs sunlight, exciting pair of electrons and boosting them to a higher energy level, which accepted by the primary electron acceptors. The second step is the splitting of water, which is also called as photolysis. Light energy splits water molecules into oxygen, proton, and electrons. This releases oxygen as a byproduct into the atmosphere. Excited electrons pass through an electron transport chain, releasing energy used to pump protons across the thylakoid membrane, creating a proton gradient to form ATP. The proton gradients derives ATP synthesis as protons flow back through the ATP synthase, creating ATP from ADP, an inorganic phosphate. Formation of NADPH. The high energy electrons reduce NADP positive to NADPH, a molecule that will carry electrons to the Calvin cycle. End products of light-dependent reactions are ATP, which supplies energy for the Calvin cycle, NADPH provides high-energy electrons needed to reduce carbon dioxide into the Calvin cycle, and oxygen molecule, which is released as a byproduct. Let's talk about the mechanism of light-independent reaction, which is also called as Calvin cycle. It takes place in the stroma of the chloroplast and uses ATP and NADPH to convert carbon dioxide into the glucose. First step of light-independent reaction is carbon fixation. Carbon dioxide entered the cycle and is attached to a 5-carbon molecule called ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate, forming a 6-carbon compound that splits into two 3-carbon molecules. The 3-carbon molecules are converted into a higher energy form called glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate using energy from ATP and electrons from NADPH. Some glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate molecules are used to form glucose and other carbohydrates, while others are recycled to regenerate ribulose biphosphate, allowing the cycle to continue. It takes 6 turns of the Calvin cycle to produce 1 molecule of glucose. Glucose is the end product of the Calvin cycle, which is the primary energy source for plants and indirectly for other organisms in the ecosystem. In photosynthesis, limiting factors are the conditions that can restrict the rates at which photosynthesis occurs if they are in short supply. The main limiting factors are light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature. Light intensity. Light provides the energy needed for the light dependent reactions. As light intensity increases, the rate of photosynthesis initially rises because more light allows more chlorophyll to be excited. Carbon dioxide is a key raw material in the Calvin cycle where it is fixed into glucose. While enzymes involved in photosynthesis work within an optimal temperature range, usually between 20 to 35 degrees Celsius for most plants. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe the channel for more videos.